Yo, whoa, what is up, everybody? Welcome to the channel. My name is Jose, also known as JD on Twitter, and we're gonna get right down to it. Hold on, first we gotta explain the fit. You know, I got the Jets hat. I love this hat. It's the NFL 100 hat, so we're gonna be wearing that. We got the Keyshawn jersey, number 19, former first overall pick of the New York Jets. That didn't last too long, but he was a Jet, and now he's working ESPN morning shift with Jay Will. Well, he is Jay, so Jay Will and Zubin, right? So we got Zach Wilson today. We've got Zach Wilson today. The BYU product, 21 years old. He'll be 22 by the start of week number 1. He came in at 6'2", 214. His hands were 9.5 inches. His speed was 4.83. That was his 40 time. There's nothing not to like there besides the height. I mean, the height's a little short, but hey, I mean, Russell Wilson was like, what, 5'10", 5'11", 6 foot, something like that. And the dude, he's a pro bowler, all pro player. So, I mean, that's not an issue for me. He's young. His weight is just right there. He has nice hands, 9.5 inches. That's nice. And 4.83 speed, which is perfectly fine with me. Remember, Tom Brady ran a 5 point something, and he's like one of the greatest quarterbacks ever, if not the greatest, probably the GOAT. My only issue with Zach when it comes to body and measurements is his shoulders. His shoulders are a little small, but when you have an arm like that, I think that's kind of irrelevant. Negatives, as I said, the small size on his shoulders, that's not the greatest. He's a little short. And sometimes he could be hesitant. Like, there could be a guy that's right there that's about to be break away, and he gets a little too hesitant. That's not something to love about him. But when you realize how much of a natural thrower he is, he could just patch that up simply, very easily. And he waits too long for his open man to get open. It's a timing issue. It's something that a lot of prospects do have an issue about. I talked about that in the last episode when I talked about Trevor Lawrence, about how great his timing was, but how bad it was the year before, and how a lot of prospects have that issue. He waits for the man to get wide open, and by the time that the player is wide open, the the safety's gonna come up. He's gonna see that, and then boom, interception. You have an issue right there. So if Zach could just work on throwing the ball and leading the receiver into it, then he's fine. He's perfectly fine. But until I see that, that's a negative right there. Another negative is a lot of people are worried about his character and his personality. That could be an issue in the locker room. I don't really think so. My mind has shifted towards he's going to be fine in the NFL. I mean, if you asked me like a month ago, I wouldn't be too huge on Zach Wilson. But now that I've actually sat down, done analysis, and have, done my research on him, I think he's perfectly fine. I think I was a little too harsh on him, and I can't wait for him to come to the league. Now, the positives. He distracts the safety with his eyes. When he's looking, he like diverts the safety another way, which is great. He's an improviser. If there's not an open man, he's, as I said, he always looks for the wide open man. If there's not an open man, boom, he's scrambling. He's scrambling for like 20, 40 yards. Dual threat. His arm tap, oh my goodness, his arm talent is impeccable. It is the best arm. Probably number 2, right behind Kellen Mond. One of the best arms in the draft. It is ridiculous. He's just a natural thrower. He could sling it. I mean, there's this one play. I'm gonna show it on the screen, but I'm not seeing it right now. He just like scrambles out and just boom, he just slings it. I know every BYU evaluator and every Zach Wilson evaluator knows exactly what I'm speaking of. That play where he just gets out of the pocket and he's like, oh, boom, and he just slings it for a touchdown. I mean, in the NFL, people say that would get intercepted. I don't know about that, but it was a enormous play. And then, I can't really observe his pocket presence due to the fact that BYU has a pretty good offensive line. I mean, he moves around in the pocket. He's pretty good there, but I can't say that he's good or bad. Can't really speak of it much because he has a stacked O-line in BYU. Now we're going to go over his 2020 stats. He played in 12 games. He had 3,692 yards, 33 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. That right there, and 73 completion percentage. That right there is probably what made Joe Douglas trade away Sam Darnold. Because with Sam, you know that he's probably, if his potential is 40, 45 touchdowns, 35, around that range, but you're always going to have like 15, 20 interceptions per year. Sam Darnold's going to always throw interceptions, but he's going to throw a lot of touchdowns. This kid, Zach Wilson, he does the exact opposite. He's going to throw a lot of touchdowns, but he's not throwing a lot of interceptions. Now, people could say, oh, you're being biased. I mean, look at 2019 where he had 11 touchdowns and 9 interceptions. You do realize that he wasn't fully healthy, right? He had a whole arm injury. He had to get surgery. I think it was his labrum, I believe. But when he's healthy, he's great. Now that could be a worry, which leads to my grades for Zach Wilson. I give him a 9 when it comes to injury, because that labrum injury, it just scares me, because I don't want my quarterback being hurt. We all remember Chad Pennington. We all knew that he was a fantastic quarterback. He could have been the future of the Jets, but when you're injured that much, nobody's gonna want to touch you, because it's like, come on, bro. Every week you have a great game, injured. That's the one thing about Chad, and that's the one thing that I hope Zach Wilson does not go through, because Chad, when he was healthy, oh boy, he was great. I know that for a fact. I may have not been alive for the time, and I have not watched it in live, but I know that dude was great. His arm talent, I mean, come on, 10. Size, I gave 8 because I told you he's a little small. The shoulders are an issue. Leadership, I gave him an 8 because a lot of people would give him a 5. But when you just dive into the playbook, I think that in the locker room, players just respect that. Zach Wilson, he's a geek when it comes to football. He's a straight up geek, and I love that. If my quarterback's a geek, I'll be the happiest man on planet Earth. Or the happiest Jet fan on planet Earth. His timing anticipation, I give him a 7 for that, because I named the issue. He just waits for the receiver to be wide open instead of leading the man to the receiver. Leading the man into the ball. The NFL rating, I give him a 9 because a lot of people think that he's a week 1 starter. Unless you're Trevor Lawrence, and unless you played more than like 30 games in your college career and you're a graduate, I don't think you should be starting week 1. There's a lot of these quarterbacks in this draft that I do not think should be starting in week 1. Zach Wilson, I'd like to see him start maybe after the bye week, but that's at the earliest. Footwork, I give him a 10. He's very, very solid footwork. His speed is a 9. I would have given him a 10, but when you run a 4.41 like Justin, I'm going to say this in every single video that does not include Justin Fields. When you run a 4.41 40 time and you stumble, that's when you deserve a 10. Read defense, 10. As I said, he's an improviser, and he distracts the safety with his eyes. Mechanics, I give him a 10 as well. Arm mechanics, of course. That is a 90 overall. He is my second quarterback in this year's draft. I gave him an A. His pro comparison, I know this is a little overboard, but I would probably have to say Russell Wilson, just because of the similarities in their arm talent and just the way that Russell Wilson's able to scramble out the pocket like an improviser. The height also is a factor. They're both into football incredibly. That's my pro comparison for Zach Wilson, and I think that he could be a very, 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 very solid quarterback in this league. Some may say the top quarterback in this league. I'm not going to go that far because we haven't seen him play an NFL snap yet, but can he be the next great BYU quarterback? That is the question. That is the question indeed. I think he could. But if he does come to the Jets got to surround him with talent. All right, that's what we got to do with our quarterbacks. Surround him with talent. And that's going to be it for today. I hope you guys loved the video. This is my little quarterback comparison. We're going to be coming with Trey Lance next. We're going to be doing Justin Fields, Mac Jones, Kellen Mond, and then one video for Davis Mills and Kyle Trask. I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you loved the video. And this is Jose, also known as JD on Twitter, signing off. Peace.